Thank you so much for inviting us tonight. I'm Ellie Cohen, CEO of the Climate Center, a climate policy nonprofit working for rapid greenhouse gas reductions at scale. We all know what's at stake. Think back to that day, September 9th, that Tasha mentioned, that eerie, dark, orange sky day, and how it felt seeing and breathing in that awful air. It was terrifying, and it was a huge wake-up call for millions of Californians. As the LA Times banner headline read the following Sunday, California's climate apocalypse, fires, heat, air pollution, the calamity is no longer in the future, it's here now. We are in a climate emergency and we have to act boldly now. The rapidly deteriorating climate reality globally and in California demands that we do much more, much faster to avoid the worst. Yet California, once a global leader in addressing the climate crisis, has fallen seriously behind. We're behind the European Union. We're behind the United Kingdom under conservative Boris Johnson. We're even behind Rhode Island. That's why we at the Climate Center launched the Climate Safe California campaign to accelerate state climate policy timelines and achieve net negative emissions, capturing more carbon than we're emitting by 2030. This means moving up our current state policies by 15 years, from 2045 to 2030. 2045 is simply too late. Through Climate Safe California, we are working collaboratively to ensure the state enacts the required suite of policies as soon as possible by dramatically cutting emissions, drawing down emissions we already put into the atmosphere, and ensuring resilient, thriving communities for all Californians. California's 2020 fires, unprecedented in scope and scale, killed 32 people directly. As many as 3,000 older people died from several weeks of exposure to that toxic smoke storm. And 7 million Californians, mostly lower income and many people of color, live within 1 mile of oil and gas facilities and are exposed to carcinogens and polluted air every single day, not just during the fire season. Our fossil fuel economy is killing Californians now, not in some distant future. California's climate policies are inadequate and they're failing us. But fortunately, the solutions exist today. We just need the political will. That's what our Climate Safe California is about, providing the latest science, the comprehensive policies, and especially the courage to help our state elected officials do the right thing, because policy change is the key critical unlock for equitable climate solutions at scale. Governments and policymakers are like sailboats. They go nowhere without wind. We put the wind in their sails. We're mobilizing businesses, local governments, environmental and justice organizations, health leaders, labor, academics, and others, empowering state decision makers to adopt the bold climate policies needed that will catalyze innovation and channel market forces, putting us on the path to a vibrant, equitable, and healthy future. 3 key guiding principles drive our programs and policies. They must be based on the latest science. They must ensure a just transition for fossil fuel workers, their families, and their communities as we move to a clean energy economy so no one is left behind. And they must also ensure climate justice, which we believe is racial justice. So these communities are no longer disproportionately harmed by oil and gas production and use, and so they have equitable access to climate solutions. The good news is we can reverse the climate crisis if we enact these pioneering state policies soon here in the world's 5th largest economy. California truly is the climate solutions demonstration project for the nation and the world. Our campaign is gaining momentum. We've already secured hundreds of endorsements, including 54 elected officials and 70 businesses. Just last month, a coalition we convened won a state regulatory decision to allocate $200 million for microgrids in lower income communities so they have electricity whenever there are outages, planned or unplanned. Our house is literally on fire. There's no time to lose. We know that investing big now will save countless lives and dollars while creating hundreds of thousands of good climate-friendly jobs and protecting the health of all of our communities. Your generous support will allow us to hire key positions to leverage the strengths of partners across the state and mobilize to advance our urgent climate-safe California goals. California will lead on climate once again. Thank you very much.